Mohammed and his son Ismail live in a sprawling refugee settlement in Bangladesh, along with thousands of other Rohingya people forced from their homes in Myanmar. The Rohingya are a Muslim minority who've lived in Myanmar for generations. A campaign of targeted violence starting in August 2017 drove some 700,000 Rohingya to flee the country, including Mohammed and Ismail. They joined thousands of other Rohingya who had fled earlier cycles of persecution, now living in makeshift camps in southern Bangladesh. This is their story.
In Myanmar, Ismail, my 11-year-old son, would get up early in the morning and go to the madrasa. Then he'd come home and go to school. In the afternoon, he played soccer with his friends before dinner. He wasn't good at soccer. He's very small, so he only knew how to kick. My name is Mohammed Ayub. I'm 40 years old. I'm married. I have 3 children, 13, 11, and 6-year-old. I was a shopkeeper in Myanmar. Our community was all Rohingya people. We were oppressed. We couldn't leave our village without permission. The government of Myanmar doesn't officially recognize us. They would say, "You are Bengali people, go back to Bangladesh." This always made us angry because Myanmar is our grandparents' native land.
In August 2017, Rohingya militants attacked police posts in Myanmar's Rakhine state. In retaliation, Myanmar security forces launched a widespread assault. They targeted all members of the community, including women and children. Villages throughout Rakhine were terrorized and burned to the ground. Doctors Without Borders reported that at least 6,700 people were killed within the first month of a brutal campaign.
The military came to our village at 8 in the morning. They beat people and burned their homes. Members of our community were beaten and arrested. We were afraid that we would get a bullet in our bodies too, so we ran into the forest. I'm afraid now, talking about it. The children witnessed it all. People were shot, houses were burned. There was no need to explain to them what was happening. The children saw and they understood. I told my family to take what they wanted from the house. Ismail was scared. He told me, "Father, there is shooting. We need to take the bags and go." During that attack, we ran into the forest and stayed there for several days. There were monsoon rain. Our clothes were soaked. We were completely wet and we were terrified. There were a lot of people going towards Bangladesh, so we followed them. Some of the children could walk and some had to be carried. When they cried, we gave them some of the food we had to calm them down. In the 40 years of my life, I never faced such difficulties as I did on this journey. We trekked over 2 large mountains and crossed a river on foot. When we got to the border, we crossed the Naf River in a boat to Bangladesh. It took 15 days to go from Myanmar to Bangladesh. We were 11 people, and the boat was full. If you leave your home, you'll miss it. All we could bring with us was some clothes. We left everything else behind. Our cattle, our land, our property. When we got out of the boat, there was a field outside a small village. Some local people came out to the field and told us that we could spend the night in the mosque. They helped us, the Bangladeshi people. They were kind. They gave us dinner and breakfast the next morning. From there, we went to Jamtuli makeshift camp. Those who had money went in tuk-tuks, and those who didn't came on foot. We didn't have any money. My relatives, who were already living in the camp, helped me build our hut. My brothers were here, so I decided to stay here. I was worried when Ismail got sick. He told me, "Father, I have fever and it's hard to swallow." So I took him to the Doctors Without Borders clinic in the camp. Other people told me to go there. They said they'd gotten better after going. From the clinic, I was referred to the hospital for diphtheria.
Diphtheria is a contagious and potentially deadly disease long forgotten in most parts of the world thanks to routine vaccination. The Rohingya had little access to vaccination and other basic health care back home in Myanmar. That lack of protection, combined with poor living conditions in the camps in Bangladesh, make Rohingya refugees extremely vulnerable to outbreaks of disease. Those able to get high-quality treatment early on, like Ismail, have a better chance of recovery.
My name is Carla. I am the responsible for the hospital. So I think the doctors have explained you that your son Ismail is doing much more better. So today he's going to be discharged, which means that he can go back home, but he still needs to take the medicines that we are giving him. And he still needs to be at home without going out and without playing with the other kids. Someone from our team will be going to their house and making sure that Ismail takes the medicine.
I'm not able to earn money here. I'm not strong anymore. I worry about my children's future. If I can't work, how will they live and eat? I want my children to have better lives. I pray for them. I don't want to go back to Myanmar. I have lost everything I had there. Why would anyone send us back to Myanmar? If they want to kill us, they can just do it here. We won't go back, but we miss our native land.